Hey, welcome to the podcast. I'm your co-host, George Hudson. Thanks for tuning into the Savage Will podcast. Joined with me is Robbie Colbreth. If you're tuning in live with us, go ahead and drop a flex emoji in the comment section. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Today's topic is going to be I Am Savage Will. We're going to be talking about how to unlock your true potential in life and remove the obstacles and barriers that are preventing you from doing so. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Robbie. Robbie, it's good to see you this morning. Tell us a
Man,
little bit. Tell us a little bit about Savage Will and what it means to you.
great, George. Great to see you today, man. Thanks for having me on. Hey, listen, I am Savage Will. What is that about? That's about unlocking the unconscious to become conscious of who you really are and what you possess as a person. Listen, Savage Will is that untapped, unfinished, untamed, unstoppable, and even a little bit unpredictable brilliance that's resonant inside of each and every one of us. Every one of us can be playing at the top of our game. And some of us are playing at the top of our game. And that just simply means we got room to stretch. We can go further. And when we start tapping into this savage will, when we start realizing that there's so much more to us, when we start embracing the fact that it's okay to go ahead and go deeper, it's okay to want to go greater because we want to, man, that's when we're starting to get into that savage will journey. Listen, to set some proper expectations. When you hear the words savage will, what does it say to you? Write it down, put it in the box. Write it down. What does that mean to you? Look at both the positive and look at the negative aspects. It's a relentlessness, it's a need to be relentless. It's a want, a desire, and an expectation to stretch to be better. But you've got to be able to tame that thing to an extent. First, untamement, loose it, let it go, let it do what it's supposed to do. And then, secondly, you're supposed to allow for this thing to happen for you so that you can be better for others. Not doing it because others want you to do it, but doing it because you want to be better than your last best self. And you want to provide better for those that are important in your life so that you can enjoy and they can enjoy a better quality of life along with you. When you begin living the savage will, you begin to realize that there's a sleeping indomitable spirit on the inside of you. You awaken the Rip Van Winkle infinite value, which says that, hey, I can do this thing, I can do all things, I can accomplish whatever there's supposed to be in my life, I can make this thing happen. You begin to awaken that thing inside of your life. And not only that, but you began to move into this area of greatness. You start producing this greatness. And with the first thought of savage will, you get that thought that I can't stop, I won't stop, I don't stop. And when I think about savage will, the first thing it made me consider was an owl, the symbol of an owl, which is a symbol of wisdom and knowledge and intuitive development, supernatural power, right? Change, independent thinking, and observant listening. In the word knowledge, you actually find the word owl. These symbols can help you to awaken to a whole new thump. The symbols of this creature on the positive side can model expectations and will absolutely set your life into a series of chain reactions, stretching you into being better than your last best self. But that also means that there's got to be death to some old habits, death to some old excuses, and some other things that's been going on in your life.
Yeah, that's really good. Real quick, I'm going to pop in and do a question here. So, Robbie, I hear you talk a lot about achieving Savage Will is about unlocking the unconscious and becoming conscious of some of the things that we've become unaware of. So, how does someone evaluate their life and really become conscious and aware of the things that they're blind to?
Man, I'm so glad that you said that. I'm so glad that you asked that question because this is unlocking savage will. This is the very core of, this is the very basis for unlocking savage will. What that simply means, you've got to go back and learn about your parents. You got to learn about the environment that you came from. I'm not saying go back and relive it. I'm saying you got to go back and learn about this environment. Go learn about your parenting. Go learn about the lids that were placed on your life that stopped you from the possibility of elevating and going beyond the prison of yourself. Go look at the environment that you came from and see what limitations were there and what were they practicing. Because as for most Americans, we're taught to live a life of limitation. We're taught to live inside of boxes that are created to control our lives. and to keep us all moving in a certain kind of herd and a certain kind of lockstep. But savage will is given to unlock all of that. Listen, we've not all gone to our own moon. We've not all gone to our own Mars. We've not all achieved going to our own sun and then done intergalactic travel. None of us have. There's so much more that we can absolutely do. But if we don't go back and look at those things that stopped us, that held us back, that bound us up, we can never get to what we're potentially capable of actually doing while we still have this vapor called breath in our life. If you look at the creature, the owl, this thing is fearless. And there's some takeaways about this animal, man. This thing will attack, it will defend anything that comes against what it is standing for, where it's living, and what it's doing with its family. In other words, this thing, this savage will that it has a discipline. It decides what it's going to do, and it allows, and it has a choice. It has observance, and that's that intuitive thinking part. It has these active eyes, active listening, active wisdom and knowledge, and it's okay to be alone. It is okay to be alone, but not to be lonely. It experiences this, and then the community. Man, this thing has a community. This community it commits to. The community is its family. The community is its communication with whatever it's raising, its children, its outlets, and the communication is with its partner. And then it executes on what it's potentially going to do. Not potentially, actually, what it's going to do. And so, what this thing does, it plans, it develops, and it executes. It duplicates, replicates. Man, the owl. I don't know if you knew, but an owl can take straight up off right from a standstill and shoot straight up into the air. The owl can go ahead and glide. And guess what? This owl is so adept. Its wings, its structures, what it's been built to do, what it's evolved into, is actually able to float on the air, not dependent upon wind. That's huge. When you start dissecting the wisdom of this owl, the knowledge of this owl, this intuitive development, the supernatural power that some attributed to it, and this independent thinking, is observant listening. You start to realize, wait a minute, this thing has a perspective that's different than anything else. I started to look at that owl, started looking at things in a perspective in a similar way. So if I see like an owl, then I can see that they can see a prey miles away. They can hear their prey miles away. They can see 2.5 times more accurately than a human being in the dark. So therefore, their perception of the world around them, of their ability to take care of themselves, of their ability to eat, their ability to provide, is completely different than ours. It's a limitless capacity to be able to see your prey a mile, mile and a half away, to be able to hear your prey 2.5 miles away, to be able to see 2.5 times greater in the dark, meaning that if you're even in a dark place, you are always able to see a ray of light. You're able to see that ray of light, and for a human being, that would be a ray of hope, even in darkness. Man, that right there is savage will. That's that I can, so I will. I can't stop. I won't stop. I win. Shh is what you begin to say to fear. This is the heartbeat of the savage will stuff. You start to tell fear, shh, and you begin to make changes. And those changes, they become ideas with strategy. They become ideas with purpose. They become intentionality. These things become life. That's savage will. It's not allowing life to bring you stuff and it hits you with blows, and you just take the blows and you say that's how it is. It's not taking likes or not getting likes and believing that you have no value. No, you're more than that. You're more than a conqueror. You can achieve greater things, and those greater things, they're sitting out there waiting for you. Man, that's savage will, man. We got more to say, but we got to wait on it.
For sure. I love the image of the owl. Just this wise, big, powerful creature that can just swoop in and kind of just, be the king of the jungle, really king of the air, I would
It
say.
will attack anything. If a wolf comes at it, if a lion comes at it, and it's taking a nest and it's taking the underground burrow from another creature because it left it abandoned, it'll go in and it attack, and they will back the wolf and the lion off. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So yeah, one of my take on how to kind of unlock your savage will, or an action step you could say, is spending some isolation time with yourself. I like to say spending time with God, just
Yes.
really drowning out all the noise of the world. Put your phone away, or maybe put on some classical music and really just sit down evaluate your goals and ask yourself. Jordan Peterson has a great example of this. He always says, sit down and ask yourself, what incredibly stupid thing am I doing that's preventing me from, getting to where I want to be? And where's the disconnect between where I want to be and who I am now?
Right on.
And some people don't want to know that answer, because then at that point you get the answer and then you have the responsibility to take action.
That's right.
And that's what Savage Will is to me. It's about becoming aware and taking action.
Take that action, man. You're spot on. And that's creation, man. That's when you start becoming something greater than you ever thought you could possibly be. But you got to take action, active eyes, active listening, man, and then having a thrust to go ahead and make some change occur.
For sure, for sure. Real quick, we're going to wrap things up. We want to thank our sponsors. If you're listening live, we appreciate you. We'll be dropping some merchandise soon, some hats, some swag, some shirts, some stickers. So stay tuned for where we can get you to get that. We're also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and obviously as well here on the YouTube channel. We'll be dropping another episode next Saturday at 11:11 Eastern Time. And until then, go spend some time alone. See what you can do to achieve your Savage Will.
Live Savage Will. We'll see you.
Peace out.
Peace.